that was fun.
Do you want to go to Whole Foods?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, Whole Foods next.
That'd be good.
Okay.
The good thing is I didn't feel any. I'm fully unlocated.
Did you not feel anything better?
No temptation.
Things are kicking in. Your ketones are kicking off.
I'm ready to be on.
Okay. Explain how that works.
So once you get into ketosis, that's what we've been trying to describe. Then your body is burning its fat for energy. So you actually have a lot of energy, and you start feeling really good. So the last thing you want to do is start that train again.
Yeah.
Because you feel better than you
once you get those ketones
feel like when you kick into ketosis. So like, it takes like a week to get in there. So like, you're like, I don't feel like going through that torture again. So like, the last thing you feel like doing is even having anything to like blow off your ketosis. So they're trying to say like, once you get ketosis, it's pretty easy to stay.
It sure is.
Getting into ketosis.
That's the trick.
That's a week.
That's the trick.
A week of torture.
Week of torture.
So tired and so hungry.
Mm-hmm.
So tired and so hungry. But I feel great, and I'm happy to have some Whole Foods.
Yep. Oh. All right.
Go that way.
Okay. So
I'm actually really excited to have my body back today too. Like, what it means is I have definition back in my.
You see, it doesn't take long. That's what I'm trying to say. As soon as the ketones kick in, and once you start burning, it's an amazing feeling. And until I start listening to Joy, until you get there, you don't know what it feels like to be thin again. You don't know what it feels like to feel like a normal human again until you do what we're talking about. And so if you guys aren't burning out ketones, if you're still burning out sugar, you are missing out on something in life that is part of being a human experience. And so as soon as you eat those cinnamon rolls, all bets are off. As soon as you drink coffee, all bets are off. As soon as you drink alcohol, all bets are off.
What do you think? What we're talking about is freedom from food addiction when you do a keto diet.
That's the mental part.
Like, it's like this amazing.
All addiction.
Like all addiction, but especially like food addiction is the strongest one, where you don't realize like a lot of the day you're thinking about what you're gonna eat, what you should eat. You're hungry. You're like, you're like, when is my next meal? Like all of that goes away, and you don't you're literally able to like watch a show and not ever think about food with all their food ads and everything on there, because that's what they're trying to get people to eat. I mean, it's not just me. Like, everyone is food addicts right now. Like, whether you're starving yourself, that's still a food addiction, because like you're like thinking about food and just not eating it. We're not doing starving ourselves. We're eating like we're fully satisfied. We're fully satisfied, and you're just like, oh, I'm good. I'm full. Okay, good. And then you don't think about it until your next meal, and you have your 3 meals a day, and you feel great.
What Joy's talking about is the mental thing, because a lot of females struggle with eating disorders, so there's this mental obsession with food, just like a lot of like a drug addict has a mental obsession with drugs, or an alcoholic has a mental obsession with alcohol. So a lot of women who try to maintain a slender body get this mental obsession with food. Now, for men, the thing is that what I'm talking about, what I'm feeling is not so much the freedom of the mental stuff, because it's just not. I've never really. Most men don't really restrict themselves too much. I mean, they pretty much eat. Like you always hear the thing where he eats whatever he wants. But what we feel is, what I'm feeling is that you feel your body again. I mean, it's like the whole thing is flowing. Like it's a different feeling. But as soon as you have sugar, as soon as you eat one of Linda Newton's cinnamon rolls, all bets are off. You turn into a simp again. You turn back into you're a sugar eater. It's like, did you hear how excited everybody was when Linda said she was making cinnamon rolls and they're coming out of the oven, and she described it as fresh baked? You could smell it. Remember that? Everybody got, oh my God, it sounds so amazing. Right. because you guys are all just so fantasized about the pleasure that sugar gives you when you ingest it. And that's what's addictive, is the pleasure, combined with everything it does to you physiologically with insulin resistance and everything else. That's another issue. But the pleasure that you receive from sugar is why these little old ladies sit back and go, it's disgusting that my husband wants to go to the strip club and get pleasure. I'm going to sit here and eat my cinnamon rolls. Right, because you're cheating. See, you're drinking coffee, you're eating sugar, Linda, and meanwhile, you're shaking your finger at men who don't get pleasure from cheesecake. They might get pleasure from cocaine. They might get pleasure from getting their dick sucked, but not from a cinnamon roll. Well, except for Doodle, of course. What a simp.
Yeah. So the thing is, it's hard to describe how good you feel on the keto diet, and so that's why we always know how good we can feel. So whenever I'm drinking alcohol or eating sugar, I know it's going to be short-lived because I know that I feel like crap. Like, I literally, as soon as I start eating sugar or drinking alcohol, like, I immediately start feeling crappy, and I'm like, ugh. Where when you're on the carnivore keto diet, like, you feel good every day. And, like, it takes a second to get into it, but after that, you feel great, and you get used to that feeling, and when that feeling goes away, you're like, oh, I want that feeling back. So it's very easy for us to get back. That's why people like Ava want to hate on us because we go in and out of addiction. But like, that's actually pretty impressive. Like, we are able to do alcohol for a minute and then come bounce right back to our diet. That's not really like
what we're talking about.
Too, but also, okay, she's talking about like. She's acting like we're just sitting here and we're just starting addiction. My addiction is starting when I go do my job in Manhattan, which is a I'm making high dollar job. If it was a man doing that, she wouldn't think anything of like he had to drink when he was
with clients,
in Manhattan. But it's like, oh, joy. So it's not like I'm just like going in and out of addiction for no reason.
Right.
I'm doing it for work. And part of it, you say, well, you're drinking when you're not working. Yeah, but that stress of going to do that and stuff, and it's also an amazing thing too. But that's like, just because something's stressful doesn't mean it's bad. Like, stressful means like you're doing something interesting and unique and like where it's scary. You know what I mean? But that doesn't mean it's bad. Like people think like, oh, you want your life to be alleviated of stress? Yeah, you're gonna be depressed.
Hey, Candy, if you'd like, I'll out push-up you. I'll out run you, and I'll out nunchuck you. I'm in much more better physical health than you are, 100%. Anybody here? In fact, just bring them on. I mean, anybody who's challenging us, there's the link right there. Click it. Come on stream. I guarantee you, nobody's going to come on stream because they know you can. Okay, here's the funny thing about sugar addiction. God, first of all, it's been here ever since sugar was invented. But God made it very obvious to people that were addicted to sugar. He made it so they got fat. And you were repulsed by them. And then we spent a long time trying to convince people that fat was beautiful. Remember those programs?
Not take separate. We'll take that because.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Whichever one you think is best.
Yeah, we'll take
leg beef.
So the thing is, like, we're kind of showing how we are on the different things, and I think you guys can clearly see that sugar is a drug. When Richard was eating all those candies,
God,
the guy was like jacked up like he was 5 years old. Like, oh, you know, I mean, like you guys like, oh, you guys are grumpy. Yeah, because you don't eat sugar all day. Like, sugar makes you all like, woo, but it also makes you depressed. And all these other things, it's bad and like miserable. But yeah, it's a drug. So at first, you feel like euphoria, we're like, woo, bounce off the walls when you have a piece of cake, or caffeine. My goodness. But that doesn't mean that that's a good thing. Like, people think that just like feeling euphoric and bouncing around and jumping around.
No, it makes it a bad thing.
That's usually because you're high. You're high on something.
In fact, the brain has very, very specific protections against humans feeling euphoric. That's why you have to retrain your brain. You have to tell it it's okay to be euphoric. It's okay to be happy. Otherwise, you will end up getting older and older and bitter and seeking sugar or seeking coffee or something to give you that rush of euphoria because you can't produce it on your own. And what we're showing is that you can produce it on your own, but you have to stop using sugar as your crutch. It's like cocaine. In fact, it's 8 times. They actually just proved that, like, you remember how they used to say that, like, when they gave a rat a choice between water, food, sex, and cocaine, it always chose cocaine. And it would literally starve to death and not eat. It would just do cocaine. Everyone's like, oh my God, that's terrible. Well, you know what they did now? They added a 5th and 6th component. They added sugar, and then they added artificial sweeteners. And guess what the rats chose over food, water, sex, and cocaine? That's right, 8-1 over cocaine. The rats chose. The rats chose saccharin over sugar. It chose artificial sweeteners over real sugar, but it chose sugar 8-1 over cocaine. So these rats got fat and they got super unhealthy because Linda Newton's serving cinnamon rolls to her rats.
Okay, so do you want to do cash?
Yeah, I'll do cash.
Although you have to go in the you can't do self checkout.
Okay, then I'll use my card then.
Okay, then we'll deposit the cash.
I like to use self checkout.
I'll send you in
Okay.
I'm getting tired.
I don't blame you.
I'm getting hungry actually. I'm actually getting hungry for breakfast. So
Me too.
We did not have breakfast. Which I debated. We did have some beef, but I only had 2 pounds left. So get 6 is
Oh yeah.
it's nice to have 2 for the morning in case. And then if you do get hungry.
Do we need anything else from here?
No, he's got everything already.
Sorry.
So the ladies have plenty of stuff. Gloria, you have so much protein. They need a lot of protein.
Okay.
Enjoying taking protein by their choice. We're not making them. They want to.
No,
I didn't like that her numbers went
up.
No,
she can tell that she doesn't feel good. She knows it's not good to eat sugar.
She could tell that like her numbers went up.
She's asking us for help. Yeah. And Joy said, don't be so strict with her. And I'm like, well,
don't be too strict. Let her
enjoy her cinnamon rolls.
But she also is encouraged to watch her numbers for diabetes. So we're just going to go into Whole Foods real quick, I guess, because they did not have the 90-10 at that. And we have 2 pounds. We're going to get 6 because it's nice to have 2 in case we don't want to go right away in the morning. So we eat like 6 pounds a day. 3 Richard, 3 me. Richard also eats kibasi or chicken. But I'll probably go back to eating 2 pounds a day pretty soon. Because 3 pounds is a lot for me. And I still get bloated at 3 pounds. Like my 3rd pound, I'm like bloated. I'm like in bed. That's why I've been sleeping last week. Oh, yes. Check my phone. I have headphones. These are the best. These are the best These were the best thing Richard has ever got me. I adore these. I gave him my blue ones because I stopped wearing the big ones. Once I had these, I never wore the big ones because you can just put one in. You know, I sleep with them. Oh, the best thing. They're just a tiny little thing. The Beats, the earbuds. We got them on sale. We got them like half off around Christmas time. Best thing ever. So Richard got me a new bra and a new dress today too. He picks the best stuff. I have my new bra on that he got me. I hadn't worn this black, which is really nice. He picks the best stuff. He has really good taste. Richard has really good taste in clothes and stuff. And he used to pick out my clothes always early on. So today I've been not enjoying getting ready for work because I really had lost my toning, and that's kind of my thing. I like having like a toned body. Just like people love that. Oh, you have a fit stomach. Oh, I love your abs, kind of thing. And that went away, and I hated that because it just I don't know. That was kind of my signature thing I've had for several years now, and I never had that when I was, you know, bulimic drunk back in the day. I always hated my stomach. I never wanted to go to the pool. You know, I didn't want to show my stomach. But once we did the keto diet, I was like very proud of my stomach. And I, you know, like showing it and stuff. And that's when I started, you know, taking all these photos. I take all these selfies. Um, and the last like basically month, because most of March was kind of like unhealthy eating, you know. Luckily, all of April we've been healthy, so we've been healthy all of April. So most of March was pretty bad with the alcohol, and then we also were eating bad food. So this is day 8 for me, and I am feeling so much better. I know you guys like don't understand unless you've ever done the keto. Those of you who've done the keto get it. That it is just it's hard to describe how good you feel on day 8. It's like and you might wake up being still really tired and not feeling great, but as soon as you get going, then you're like and you don't have to do anything. That's the thing. Like you don't have to eat or drink anything to get going. You just have to kind of like get yourself out of bed. And then it's not like, oh, I need coffee to get going. It's like, no, you just get going on your on your own energy. And it feels really good. So I'm really proud. And you guys can like think we're lying or whatever, but it's pretty obvious. You'll see like each day we're going to get healthier. Our hair is going to get better. I mean, my hair is already getting better. It was so flat. It's starting to get some volume back. It just got into this like it was so flat. I know I need a haircut, but it doesn't matter whether it's cut or not. The thing was, it was like how you eat really affects your hair, skin, and nails, and right away. So I could tell immediately when I ate sugar. I could see my face, my skin start to kind of like. For one thing, I got like harder lines on my face, and my hair would immediately go like flat. Like as soon as I started eating sugar, my hair was just like it was hard to describe. And each day it's kind of getting more volume back, and I feel really proud. And so it doesn't matter, like we don't have to prove it to anybody. You guys will be able to tell by our appearance, but it's going to be pretty obvious to see the difference of like how we look just like a week ago and how we're going to look in like a month. And that's kind of cool that you guys now can literally see us do the transition. So people like Amber are like thinking that it's a bad thing that we're doing. This is actually really cool that people, because for years we were just telling you guys about what we used to do, but now you're literally seeing, oh look how crappy or look how crazy they are. Alcohol or sugar, and then
yeah, they didn't have it out there, so I went and talked to the butcher. And he brought me out some. She had it in the back.
Oh, good.
So I almost left. And I said, there's nothing. I'm gonna ask them.
Good.
I asked them, they had it, and so I got 7.
Oh, good.
Since I got the last one they had. Hey, Shogun. That was one of my grandmother's favorite books that I remember her reading when I was a kid. Shogun.
Yeah. But I think this is actually really cool. We didn't plan for this to happen. Our channel was about me getting off of bulimia, but our plan wasn't to just show us like go on and off of, either bulimia or, alcohol or whatever. But the fact that it's happening is actually kind of interesting that some people can literally see the difference, or when if you are doing those things, it's fine. I don't judge anyone for, which we should know, but you can see the impact that it had on us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And things like caffeine, and that just had a little bit of decaf tea, and she was already starting to say vulgarity things. And I was like, did she get tea? She's like, I don't think so. And I was like, I think she did. And then he went and asked, and she had tea in the morning, and I was like, it's just weird. Like I could just live it. And that is the sweetest person. You give her a little bit of caffeine, even decaf, and just the most vulgar things come out of her mouth. It's so weird. It's like it's
nasty.
Yeah, real nasty. And it's such a crazy thing. It's affected sort of like caffeine is really bad for that, and I didn't know that. I mean, I'd always kind of suspected that a little bit, but like I didn't know until we moved in, and when we saw the difference of a net on caffeine and net not on caffeine, and we had to witness it. And it's crazy. Like I will know if Gloria gave her any
100%.
because she will start saying the weirdest things. She starts talking a lot to herself, but she barely talks to herself now. She used to, I don't know if you guys know, Annette used to be the loudest person ever. Like, she talked 24/7. She did not stop talking. Her voice would get worse from talking all day long. She talked all day long and usually vulgar, crazy, racist, awful things because she was very angry for years and, like, that she wasn't being taken care of. And so, now that we've been there, like, she barely ever talks to herself. Like, she doesn't ever have, like, these negative thoughts and things. Unless she has caffeine. Oh, that's Richard for getting dented.
I gotta fill that out.
They keep texting about that. But yeah, my phone keeps ringing. It's just I can only work so much these days. I'm 40 years old, so it's like we don't work as much as we used to.
No.
And when I go to New York, I work more than here because that's what I'm doing in New York. Like I'm going to New York just to work, so I work more. But here it's much harder. For one thing, we're really far from the Strip, and it's only 30 minutes, but it's like a whole it's an experience because we are out in like suburbia, in like Snoozeville, Oakville. And then to go to the Strip is just like, when we used to live by the Strip, we loved going to the Strip. Like we loved going. We'd go several times a day. But now it's like, to go to the Strip is a trek. So same with, it feels like when you're in New York going to like New Jersey or going to like Long Island. Like it's like,
yeah, even
though it's not that far, it's just something about it. It's like, like when you are in Manhattan, you have to go to Long Island.
There's energies everywhere.
Something about like.
There's energies everywhere.
It's only an hour drive, but it's like
the energies make a big difference.
Yeah, and so it's just a different thing for us. So that's why we don't work nearly as much as we used to. That's why we struggle more. It's not that like people aren't calling me. Yeah, I mean I'm saying Vegas is not nearly as booming as, but people still call us, but we don't get 95% of the calls because we're just sleeping or doing. Where normally. Back in the day, we would miss a call.
You're always down there.
Always available. Richard would stay up all night, if I was sleeping kind of thing. And we were, someone was always
different style of life.
We were trying to, like, think, let's plan for the future. Let's make sure we're, because we were trying to save that. That was the year we did save a bunch. But then we're like, but it actually worked out for my bulimia recovery. And you go, that's because you saved. Yeah, but I would have figured out whether, because I was still working during that time too. But it just made it easier. But anyways, to plan for the future, it just assumes that you're going to be stupider in the future because you should be smarter in the future. So when you think you have to plan for the future, well, I would hope in 10 years I'm smarter than I am now.
Hey, is Timmy Time here? Did you... LC Windblack, do you see Timmy Time?
Yeah, he was in the, everyone was on the Discord yesterday, so everybody's coming in the Discord. That's kind of fun. Richard goes on there a lot. So if you guys have never checked out the Discord, we've been on Discord a lot, where if we're not on live, we've been on Discord a lot. So, come check out the Discord. Everyone's been chatting. It's fun, because everyone can come on there and, show their face. A lot of people don't show their face. Have a, photo, but they can show their face. But at least you can hear their voices and stuff. So it's kind of fun. It would be nice if it was easier to have people just jump on lives like the way Discord is. Like, that. But live is a big deal to have someone jump into the stream. That's for me. Yeah, I do like that. Discord's fun to get Ginger with us. Discord The reason why I didn't like Discord because we never was gonna
Jump
say
over there.
nasty stuff about us.
But they did. But they did on Reddit.
Yeah, but it was actually Marty, music with Marty, who passed away. That told Richard to definitely get Discord.
He has been on Discord.
He really liked Richard. He used to call Richard all the time. Yeah, he really. I couldn't believe he passed away. It was so weird because it was someone that called Richard really regularly, and so it was like even though we didn't know.
I didn't have a lot of people that called me.
We didn't know him in person, but yeah, it was just weird that someone that called him regularly, someone that passed away from called the people online. Like it was just like, oh, that's just so weird. Like someone that like you had pretty close contact with, even though we never met him in person.
Yeah, I mean it's weird that he just bonded. The weird thing was is that he bonded with me early on, long before Ava even knew who we were.
Right.
And then, but the thing was is that
that's an
yeah. Well, I've seen that guy. It's actually not that nice, but I'd take it. I would take it. I don't like the wind. Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. So Marty found us because we were blowing up, and he was like, "Holy shit!" He brought me on his show and everything, and he saw my art. He was like blown away. And then Ava found us, and somehow him and Ava had already gotten into it somehow. Somehow he knew who Ava was, like not with us, and he was like, "Dude, that chick's on heroin." He's like, yeah, he said, he sent me a clip of her 2 months ago admitting to some dude named Jimmy that she'd done like heroin. And so that's where that whole thing kind of came up because she was attacking us, accusing us of being on drugs. He's like, oh, Marty's like, bro, dude, don't let her get away with that. I've got her literally admitting she was doing heroin.
Right. So he was just trying to prove that the people that call us drug addicts are the one on drugs, and that's the people like, oh, you guys are calling other people out. No, we're only calling the people out that have called us out. Like,
yeah, I mean,
it's not like we don't call out other people that haven't called us out. We call it like LTW who did that stupid stuff, and the thing in A, but the ones that like do that stupid stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Not just randoms, not just tagging randoms.
Not just random, you know. Gone John. You know, they literally made a whole, they made a Netflix series about, they called it, it's half of your name, and it's about a homicidal maniac. It's called Gone Girls. But they use half your name. Every time I see Gone John, I think of that documentary. I'm like, you kind of see why I thought what I thought. Well, here's the thing. You can read and you can watch TV all you want, Doodle. We get that's all you do. We're out here living life. We're out here doing it, not like you. You call living life taking a tour bus and viewing it from the window. No, we're out here actually living life. We're experimenting. They're saying, hey, don't eat those berries. We're like, why? Oh, they're gonna kill you. And we ate them. We're like, holy shit, they made us fucking powerful. They lied to you. You're like, oh no, it says here that those berries are bad for you. You know what? You're on the bus, on the tour bus, shouting at us through a closed window. We're out here eating the berries, having the time of our life. So we don't really need you to regurgitate shit you read out of a dictionary because we realize that's all you do, Doodle. That's all most of you do. All you are just cogs in the machine to regurgitate the stuff they programmed you to say, even if it's not true. And even in the face of it, when they say, hey, marijuana is bad for you, oh, unless we need your money, now suddenly half the states have made it legal. More than half the states have made it legal. And it is the number one thing that's funding the schools that are teaching your children. Yeah, the drug dealers. This bad, terrible thing that's so awful. Give me a break. So save your encyclopedia, cut and paste, Googling for someone else, because I know that's all that's in your brain, and you just use Google to reinforce it. But I'm trying to tell you, free yourself, man. Free yourself. Your brain is the only tool that you have that's worth anything. You don't need a gun. You don't need a jackhammer. Use this, but you can't use it while it's being hijacked.
They need some outside.
Oh yeah.
But he needs the tops.
All right, guys. Great day.
Here you go, Caspy. Caspy. Where are you? Casper, you get one of these and the rest go.